What's up, everybody? All two of you, and the stalkers that run around. Give a fuck about none of you. Anyway, in the past, I've heard people talk about cheap installation, this, that, and the other. And what they're talking about is the product itself, not the installation of it. There isn't technically a cheap installation. There's only a right installation and a wrong installation. Um, there's a little piece of paper like that. Sometimes it's a little book. Comes with every floor covering you get. It's called care instructions. If you do not follow those care instructions for that material, you fucked it up. That has nothing to do with your installer. I hope you know that. What your installer is responsible for is whatever that paper says. This is installation specifications. With LVP floating floors, well, LVP, LVT, and laminate. Also, if you have a floating vinyl sheet good, which those are available also, you have to leave that 1/4 inch gap. What is that for? Oh, yeah, heat and cold. Expanding in the heat, shrinking in the cold. That's what it's for. Can you hook anything to it, as in put a nail anywhere in the floor covering? Yeah, but you have to hollow it out around it. Only the floor covering. Now, I'm getting sick and tired of if you go out and you do a job for somebody that's already got material and they have some material that you would never suggest putting in, but they're on a budget and that's what they want. So you put it in. It looks beautiful. For installation wise, not color, not design, not any of that, because it's a cheap floor that they just grabbed because it was in their price range. Kind of like one couple that had carpet tile for their bathroom. Yeah, most people wouldn't do that. I know. They also, if they did do carpet tile, would make sure they match or have the, you know, pattern that matches it to go together. Not a whole bunch of free samples that some store either gave away or sold for like $1 a box with all mix match in it. Right. Now, there's a lot of people that are so what I call snooty that I wouldn't do that. Well, it's not your fucking house. It's theirs, and that's what they wanted, and that's what they liked. You see, the people don't even look at the install. They look at what the pattern or, the flooring looks like. They don't look at the lines. They don't look at the stagger. They don't look at the fact that it's undercut. They don't look at the fact that it's completely centered, straight, flat, and together. That's installation. Everything else, color, style, wear, this, that, and the other, that has to do with the manufacturer, not the installer. That means when you get it and your installer tells you, I've never heard of this company, or this company is not trusted, and you still have them put it together, that's on you. Just like when you have a new deck put up and they tell them if you don't paint it today or by the end of the job, you're not getting paid. Do you know anything about pressure treated lumber? It has to sit for a while after it's installed before you can paint it. Again, this is how homeowners fuck themselves. And who do they try to flip it on? The installer. What happens when you take them to court and they tell you that it's a mill defect? Yeah, a couple guys I was working with, I told them I did PNC Bank. This is just an example. Now, PNC Bank is a bank, okay? We're doing it at night so they can open in the morning. Carpet comes in, 2 different rolls. All right, does the whole bank. Supposed to be off the same roll from the mill, which die lots can happen on the same roll, like die lot differences. It's when the dies start to run out or one got clogged and didn't die, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, it's a manufacturer error. You still have to install it. If not, they can't open their doors. So, who pays for that? The mill. It doesn't fall on the installer. It doesn't fall on the bank or the customer. It falls on the mill. That's one mill defect right there. What does that mean? That means we have to lay it anyway. And then when the new carpet comes in, we get paid to do it again, even though it wasn't the bank's fault, wasn't the installer's fault. You see what I'm talking about? There's things like this that happen. And a lot of people want to sue the installer or run their mouth or badmouth the installer. It's not the installer. You're attacking the wrong person. Now, what an installer does do for you is that if there is a mill defect like that, by them doing a proper install is how you keep that warranty to get your money back for what they messed up on their product. Not the installer. He did his job. Or her. And I think a lot of these homeowners know this, but the easiest one to run their mouth about is the installer. I keep hearing, oh, these Mexicans are so fast and so great. No, they're not. There's only a few of them that are very quick and very efficient. The other ones, they fuck up so much and cover it up as they go. I've worked with plenty of them. There's only one painter and drywall guy I trust, and that's, of course, his name is Jose. And he's a good dude. This man is awesome. And I've never seen any imperfection from his installation. Same thing with boards if they have, the pressure treating didn't go right. Now, technically, the mill ain't supposed to send that out, but sometimes they do get sent out and they end up, having to replace the material or the job that it got installed on. Even though the contractor tries to tell people, most of the time it's do it anyway. Do it anyway. There's another thing. I've had a lot of guys work for me. I've ran a lot of crews, and I've never messed with a worker that told me they were capable of handling something. I put them to it and left them alone to see if they could really do it on their own. I didn't stand over their shoulder. I didn't sit there and get all stressed out because their technique to finish with the same outcome was a little bit different than mine. As long as the end result is the same, doesn't matter. As long as you're not wasting material and time, doesn't matter. I've seen a lot of these people say that they are a lot better than this person or that person, and they fuck up the whole job. They don't put in blocks where they should before they put up drywall. After you mud, it should be done. All those blocks and everything should be in place. Not putting water in the mud, not wetting the strip before you put it on, which reduces bubbles. Or how about, zigzag heavy paint and then back roll to smooth it all out. Now, if I were to jump in while this dude's doing this and be like, hey, you missed the spot, and then be talking to him about this little line that's still wet while we're talking, but because I wasted so much time talking to him, now that line and his pursuit to finish this plan, that he had in his head to do what he's doing, is messed up because I interfered and didn't let him finish. Now, if he finishes and it's all messed up and can't be fixed by him, then yeah, he gets back charged. That's on him. Right? Right. Yeah, I've walked in and seen drywall crews and stuff not doing that, which, yeah, okay, your technique's different. When it comes to the tape being bubbled, not right, not filled in, and having the little pigments because you didn't make it smooth or creamy enough, moisture. You need moisture on the tape. But everybody knows better than I do. Would I sit there and not pay attention to who was at fault or this or that or the other? Yeah, I would. That's what a good lead is, knowing exactly where things went wrong and what caused it, and then fixing it without losing too much time. Now, when you have a person, let's say, cutting tile, and the lead's wondering why it's taking so long, and you go down and you see how this guy's cutting things, and the fact that every tile he has to recut and recut and recut, and most likely redo all the cuts. It takes time. This is why I've always worked by myself, because you get guys in there that will pretty much sabotage your work by doing stuff like that if that is their position. Yeah, and if there ain't an eye on them, boy. And what have some of my crew members done? Oh yeah, they've taken the blame for shit that wasn't theirs, but I knew what was going on. I let it go just so the other person that was at fault would just calm down, and you could see that they knew it was them. And I hoped by that being, a big deal that they would straighten their shit up, which sometimes they do. Other times they don't. Don't you think it's funny when somebody's a little bit older than you, they think because they're on the planet longer, your experience ain't shit, no matter what you're able to do, no matter what you know. And it's worse if you're not a tall, big man, because they really don't give you any type of fucking nothing. Yes, I know helpers go through hazing. That's a lot different. That's just joking around. This ain't joking around. This is actually messing up jobs and costing money. Hazing a helper doesn't always do that. All it's doing is goofing off. And yeah, some of those people that do that hazing go to extremes. And it doesn't matter how much stress or whatever they're putting on their helper. They feel, oh, it's all right. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, okay. I was talking about a dude named Charlie that was procrastinating. It was a homeless guy that my uncle would, hire. And this dude, he would. He would get into these, talks to where he wouldn't shut up and he's not getting any work done. So a lot of times to snap him out of it, you got to get, you had to. It wasn't being rude to him, but you had to. Shut the fuck up, Charlie, and get back to work. And he'd laugh at you and be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I should. And then he'd go back to work. But if you didn't say it like that, he'd keep talking. So, I don't know. That was just like his work button. You had to put the fuck in there. If you did not, it was like his brain just didn't even hear. Dude, you gotta get back to work. Yeah. It was weird. Most people are just like, all right, man, we gotta get back to work. And what do they do? All right, man. They might still talk, but they're getting work done. This guy, no. You had to. Charlie, get the fuck to work, man. All right. I mean, he's a great guy, don't get me wrong. But yeah. And if you're in a customer's home and you don't want to cuss or anything like that, it's a lot harder to get him motivated. That's when you walk up and you whisper it right next to his ear where nobody else can hear. Get the fuck back to work. And it makes you seem ignorant and rude, but it's not. It's just motivation for him. That I don't know. That's just what makes him motivated. I don't know if that's what parents had to do to get him motivated. I don't know. All I know is that's what worked.